Nvidia. Is that a good way to start this? He thinks it is. So if you guys have been watching YouTube today and tech updates, you know that today embargo's lifted for 3 new cards from Nvidia. All the major tech tubers are giving their spin or their point of view, and I kind of wanted to add mine to the mix. As somebody who works within this industry, there are things that I know before they happen and things I just can't say due to NDA. I want to go over why Nvidia's move in these cards and pricing is truly not about these cards at all, but about moving other cards that they have in their line, and why you shouldn't buy them, especially because there's some stuff from AMD coming out that is going to more than be comparable for probably less money. But you know what's not scummy? The giveaway I'm doing right now.
The right gaming keyboard can be the difference between life and death, at least in a video game, which is why this month I'm giving away this excellent wireless Cherry MX Red Thermalake gaming keyboard, and if you want it, you can see how to enter down in the description below.
So let me lay this out for you. Nvidia announced that they're going to be releasing the 4060 Ti, which is going to be up to 70% faster than previous generation for $400 on the 24th. That's not a great price point, even if it is technically a great improvement, because they're obviously quoting DLSS numbers, and Nvidia and AMD, to their credit, have never been honest about the amount of performance that you're actually giving over the previous generation, except for, ironically, the 4090, but that's an outlier because that's an incredibly expensive card. But the way they're doing this is they have a 4060 Ti 16GB version that's going to be coming out in a month or two for $100 more. And then the real card that everybody always upgrades, the 3060, the 2060, in this case the 4060, for $300 looks like it's actually a very good value, but you're not going to be able to get that card for 2 months. So the initial Nvidia strategy is get everyone to buy this $400 card today. And Nvidia knows what they're doing because, as Hardware Unboxed showed, why 8GB is still relevant, especially for people playing at 1080p, modern games are going to start outpacing that fairly quickly, meaning that you're going to have to upgrade sooner than you might like, which is why the 16GB 4060 Ti even exists. It's to give people that upgrade option for future-proofing at a terrible price of $500. The way they've done their pricing is incredibly smart because it's actually not about selling the 4060 Ti with the 8GB or even necessarily the 4060 Ti with the 16. It's about creating a gap of comparison so people buy the card that is not selling out right now, which is the 4070. The 4070 is actually a fairly good performer, but not for its price point. It's been so bad that MSI is actually stopping their production of those cards because they have thousands of them in queue, along with 3060 Ti's and 3060s that they just can't get rid of. And so by essentially reducing the amount of 4060 Ti's they're going to be making and 4060s on the market, they're going to create an artificial, need to buy them, or supply and demand, whatever you want to call it. And they're going to try and get people to move up it. And this is actually a tactic that Apple employs. Because let's say you're a new buyer and you want to buy a 4060 Ti. You start out at $400 for 8GB, but then you have a friend who maybe knows a little about computers and talks about the whole VRAM issue. So you feel self-conscious and you're like, oh no, I don't want to get a card that's immediately going to be obsolete. I better get that 16GB version of the 4060 Ti for $500. But wait, for a mere $100 more, you can have this 4070, which is not only a better performer, but even though it has less VRAM, will most likely last just as long. And so that's the card you end up buying, fully $200 from your initial pricing of what you thought you needed or what you thought you wanted. So unless you really need a GPU, it doesn't make any sense to buy this off rip, especially because AMD is coming hot on their heels. So the first card we know for sure is the 7600X. I can neither confirm nor deny, again, that I may have seen these things floating around somewhere, and they're going to be coming out very, very close to when the 4060 Ti is releasing. And not only that, performance for these things is supposedly going to be very comparable, because spec sheet wise it's very close to the 4060 Ti, but it's priced like a 4060 at $300. He wanted to chime in. Now I understand, because you are going to be giving up DLSS 3.0 along with some other specific Nvidia features, but I have the 7900X TX in my wife's build, and honestly, since they've done the patching on it, I've had nothing but good things to say about it. Personally, I never turn on ray tracing, so it's not something I even care about. Don't buy the 4060 Ti day one unless you really, really need a GPU, and that's the one you want. So there you have it, guys. That's my take on all this. And again, I know inside information, and so just please wait. That's my word. Anyway, if you like this video, leave me a big thumbs up. If it's terrible, leave me a thumbs down. Remember to get subscribed and hit that bell icon so you know when these videos drop next. Enter the giveaway if you haven't already. I'll keep you updated with news as I find out myself, and as always, I'll see you next time.